Yeah,
Pretty
it was
nice.
good.
Those buys were pretty nice this morning. Okay, let's get this started. That microphone isn't doing that crackling noise, is it?
Nah.
I'm gonna have to get a better one. And I ordered it off of Curry's, and the guy said it was like fairly decent. So I was like, all right, cool. But then as soon as I hear crackling, I'm like, well, that must be a shit brand then. Okay. So my kind of thoughts for GJ. I'm thinking, the daily candle today, it should close bullish, and then if it closes bullish, I think after the weekend, we're gonna see, this down move get corrected, and I think we're gonna continue up. I mean, fundamentally, it makes no sense, but I mean, I'm not gonna argue with what the market's doing. But if we look on the daily time frame, we are creating a support above this level, which is going to be good for then next week. I think we should continue up to retest this high. I think that's what we're going to see next week. So we'll see. Unless something drastically goes wrong with Brexit and the pound just corrects that whole move up, but I don't know. Look like it's coming up to break the high of the previous 30-minute candle again. Similar structure to what it did over here.
I jumped in, to be honest.
Okay, I think you should be good coming up to 138, 425, 138, 430. Look on the 15-minute. Yeah, I think you should be good till there. You've got clean candle to left hand side, but then you've got like a support area around 138, 420. If we look on the 30 minutes, I think that's where potentially you could see some issues. But yeah, it does make sense at this point to continue up. Similar to what kind of happened over here. This is what I was looking at down over here. Morning, guys. They're on the YouTube. Morning. There was a couple of good opportunities for buys actually. So the first opportunity obviously happened a bit very early. It happened at like 5:30 in the morning. But you see when we had price come and create support above this resistance, that was the first buy opportunity because we had a clean candle to left hand side, and obviously we pushed above this resistance, so then we broke above this level over here, did like a retest, and then the next candle came up. We had clean candles left hand side coming up to this zone, this area right over here. And then as you can see, it's been the same thing. This candle closed above. This candle did a retest, closed very weak. This candle's created a bottom wick, came up to break the high, and it should continue bullish. If you look at the 15-minute, so the previous 15-minute candle, it closed with no wick to the top. So I would have taken it based off the 30, not off the 15, if I would have been entering over here, just because I didn't like this no top wick on the 15, but looks like it should continue up. And then yeah, I mean, I don't know how high we're gonna get. I don't know how much we're gonna go today, but I mean, GJ could correct some of this move, so we'll see. Yeah, I suppose these clean candles yesterday, created that clean move up today.
Yeah, I'm not going to take any trades today. I'm just going to note down any possible entries and just journal them.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I like that. I like that thinking.
I saw your other win yesterday.
Oh yeah, that was at the end of the
That was
day.
nice, man.
Yeah, that was
Textbook.
That was where was that?
Oh, there.
Here,
Yeah.
here. Yeah, this was right over here. This clean candle here.
Is there normally like a volume push at that time?
Well, I mean, basically how I saw it is that we were trying to catch like a big push all day, and then obviously I had sells over here after the stream because obviously it was just ranging at that point. I missed this sell down to support, but then once price broke support, we said on the stream, didn't we? Once it breaks 138.650, we have clean candles to 138.400. So I knew at that point I could give my trade a second chance. Took the sells, executed the sells, took the win there, and then obviously when I came to the charts at the end of the day to do the market breakdown, I saw how we were creating a further resistance, and just sometimes at the end of the day around London close, you will get a final push in. If it, let's say it's been stalling all day, which it stalled during London, so I thought, okay, well, if it's stalled during London, because it's coming up to London close, now we could see, further push. So I secured, most of my position, and then let a little bit run, trailed it on the 30-minute, and then obviously the runner got stopped out, but I traded it on the 30-minute just because I didn't want to like give back any profits that was in profit type thing, so I just thought if I trail it on the 30-minute, it would give me an opportunity to secure 10, then secure 20, then secure 30. So I thought I'd do that just because it was the end of the day, and so it worked
Yeah, I
out.
suppose with experience, you can start catching moves like later on if you've seen it happen before a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, every day you go at London close and look to see if it's finishing that move, because then you'd be trading London close. It's not like that. It was like, it was kind of like an experience trade thing. Like I've taken maybe, I don't know, in the whole of 2020, 4 trades at London close. But the reason I only take them, and each 4 of them have worked out, and the reason why is because I've seen that happen before. The particular move maybe I was trying to catch hadn't happened all day, and then it just happens at the end of the day. And if people are like, because I used to obviously say, oh, I'm not going to take that because it's past my hours. That's good. Obviously it's me that's risking the money. So if people don't want to trade that is good. So don't feel like just because you missed the move in the London session, you have to come back at London close. It's not, doesn't quite work like that. But yeah, no, it was it played out. So it was good. But I mean, if I just left it a break even and didn't trail it, I mean the one lot, sorry, would have ran for quite a bit. So I probably should have done that, but oh well. I took my piece and called it a day. It means I'm up quite good for the week as well now. So yeah, ended up being a good week in the end. Actually, to be fair, I have to say.
Stay composed. Yeah.
I think just in general, the London session's been harder this week, just because a lot of there's been a lot of volatility, but there's been the odd times where we've just been getting these clean pushes, and yeah, I mean that's it. Just got to stay disciplined and all of that good stuff. So yeah. Okay, anyway, let's check out some other pairs over here. Let's check out Euro JPY. So looking at Euro JPY on the daily time frame, obviously we know that price made a high at 125, 140. So price came up, tapped into this resistance. It retraced down to around 123 700, 123 700, and now the daily candle is trying to come up to maybe print bullish. Okay, so I think obviously if Euro JPY daily time frame closes bullish today, then I think next week we're gonna see price come up maybe and then retest the high and fill some of these wicks. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Looking on the 4-hour time frame on Euro JPY, we can see now that I think the 4-hour is trying to come back into this range. So the 4-hour so this 4-hour is a massive range. So 4-hour time frame is trying to come back up in the range. So if we measure this range, this is around a 60 pip range. So more than likely, as you can see, this 4 hours bullish. Euro JPY should continue up to 124.560, which is around another 20 pips away, because this is the 4-hour resistance. So basing that on that idea, let's look on the 1-hour time frame. So yeah, for that to happen, it basically just needs to break above this minor resistance at 124.250 within this range for price to continue up. Let's neaten this up too, so we can see how the 1 hour reacted to this support down over here, held support, continued up. Look on the 30-minute time frame. So yeah, I think for Euro JPY buys within the 4-hour range, I think a support above 124.250 is going to be really good. And then I'd say there's a very, very, very high probability that we're going to at least come to 124.400. But I'm just going to put the target up over here around 124.450 just for simplicity purposes. So yeah, I think ideally, you want to support above this area. 124.250 is going to increase your probability, and then you have a nice clean 22 pip range. Because if you create a support, then we don't have to worry about this minor resistance. But as price is breaking up, you do have to look left and say, okay, we could incur some issues here. So when price breaks above a level and then retraces a little bit to create a support, it's almost like it's a little platform boost for it to continue in that direction, and then ignore this, and then it will look at this clean candle coming up. So that would be pretty good for Euro JPY there, but it kind of needs to respect this area here as like a previous area too. So 124.50, it can retrace back to this level, create some more support, and then continue up. Something that can happen too. So we're just going to keep an eye on Euro JPY today. Let's check out gold. Do fresh analysis there on gold. Looking at the daily. So the daily candles are just kind of consolidating at this point. Obviously we reached this support on the daily time frame, and now the daily candles are just kind of consolidating. So this daily candle kind of needs to break the high of the previous daily candles for it to continue bullish. But at the same time, we don't know it's going to continue that way. It could just come back in this range and then more than likely fall back down to support at 1861. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, it looks like gold's trying to create support here again. It creates support around the Asian session back above 1876 or 1877. But then all it needs to do is it needs to just break above this minor resistance on the 4-hour time frame, and then gold can continue up, maybe fill this wick. So I think a good area is because we could have some issues at this area, because this was a previous support from the 4th of November, and we can see on the 10th of November we came up and tapped into this level. So this is 1890, and then we rejected it. So I mean, as gold is coming up, that's probably the most likely place we're going to fill this liquidity wick over here. But it does seem like it's creating support back above this level for gold to continue up. Let's look at the 1-hour time frame. So yeah, looking on the 1-hour time frame, we can neaten this up a little bit. So we have a support over here which was respected during the Asian session and all through pre-London. And then what we can also see is yeah, we have a resistance over here on the 1 hour time frame, which we kind of tapped into a few times around London close yesterday, and then we've just kind of been ranging ever since. So the ideal buys based off the 1 hour are above 1883, 1884 for for gold to continue up, because you can see we have a clean candle on the left hand side on the 1 hour time frame, at least to around 1887, 1888. Let's go to the 30-minute. Looking on the 30-minute time frame, it is a this is a big range. It's a very choppy range, but we're gonna have to neaten this up a bit. And then it looks like we're kind of reacting to this minor resistance as well over here. So I think gold's looks pretty difficult today. But overall, if you base it off the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame, the ideal setup is going to be above 1883, because then the 4 hours going to be trying to break out, and then this is your better range. This is your best range to trade, because this range here, as you can see, is very wicky. It's not respecting lows. Breaking highs and lows, so I wouldn't want to touch anything within this range anyway. Plus it's a Friday, so more than likely we're just going to range today. So I mean, we're going to look at it and just think about above this area, but obviously I won't be taking any trades on gold, just more for the educational purposes. So that's gold. Let's look at the Footsie, because the Footsie should have went bullish this morning, which it did. It broke above this minor resistance, candle closed above, next candle created like a liquidity wick to continue up. I think Footsie may be gonna try and form some support, and then I think this level can go. So we do have clean candles to the left hand side. Let's get the 15-minute. Probably I have some issues around this area over here. Okay. Can you show us a recap of the 2 trades you took yesterday after the stream? Yep, I'll do that literally in a couple of minutes. G-CAD kind of like GJ, created a high over here, trying to retrace, create some support. G-CAD had a good opportunity for buys at 630, but pretty difficult to catch. Just clear everything here for a minute. So it looks like it's trying to create some support here. So if G-CAD can create some support, it can continue bullish. Otherwise, if it's gonna start to head down, it may correct some of this move and then retrace to this support, maybe for some more buys to come up. So keep an eye on G-CAD. And so that looks like everything. So it looks like GJ 30 minutes flip back bullish after retracing a little bit. So I think it should continue up at this point. Okay, so let's do a trade recap of the 2 trades that were taken yesterday. Okay, so the first trade was taken somewhere over here. So basically, obviously we said on the stream yesterday, if you was on the stream yesterday, for anyone, obviously looking for a trade, looking for either buys above this level, and then I was looking for sells below this level. Now I think looking back, I spoke about this on the market breakdown webinar for the people in the group there, but looking back, this was the selling opportunity. This was the first selling opportunity, because if we look at this zone, we watched it live, tapping into this area, and we saw how the 15-minute candle was bullish. I was like, okay, well, if the 15-minute candle can close above these weak body closes, then there's a high chance for us to pierce through this zone and then continue up. But then what happened was, when that last 15-minute over here, it was coming all the way up, got above all these wicks, but then came down and closed bearish. As this candle created its top wick and was coming down below this area, there was a very high chance at that point we were just going to fall to support. And being a little bit blind to it, maybe from my point of view, if you just zoom out a little bit without the zones, it makes more sense. Look, we're in a downtrend at the end of the day, and price came up, we was rejecting this area, price failed to break above, price can only go up or down. So I think looking back at it, the sell should have been taken with a clean range, and then runners would have really ran that day. So I think that was the mistake there. That was the move that I should have caught and been waiting for. But, you know, we can't dwell on that. I just have to say, okay, how could I have caught that move? Now I know how I could have caught that move. You know, now I'm like, okay, now this all makes more sense now. So, looking back, that would have been the ideal sell. The sell that was taken was when the 30-minute candle closed below this area. So, I know people are going to say, oh, well, that 30-minute had no wick to the bottom. So, I was like, okay, well, understand that. But at the same time, you know, we can see we had heavy bearish momentum. So what I wanted to do was let the candle create a top wick first, and then as it was coming down and retracing, nearly when it flipped bearish was the point at which I executed the sell position, because then I can have a stop above the current candle, and then, you know, I can always reduce the risk if it closes bullish, and etc. And then obviously we had a clean range to fill. So that was the first sell, which ran pretty nice. And then the second sell that was taken was at London close, and that was right over here. So obviously we saw how, you know, price just kept dumping throughout the day. NYSE pushed price up, down, sorry. And then what I found was near a London close, we had a little bit of a pullback, and then we had a resistance formed, a further rejection just before the end of the day. And then I was looking at the 15-minute, and if we go to the 15-minute time frame, we had clean candles. It did look okay. So if we look at the 15-minute time frame here, let's tell a little bit of a story, because then you're going to understand a little bit more why the sells were taken. So obviously we had a low created over here. Candle closed bullish, had no wick to the bottom, had a wick, left a wick to fill up over here, right? So this indicates that price could not push down further at that point. So it had to do a bit of a retracement. So the next candle came up, also had no wick to the bottom, came up to fill this wick, also left a wick to fill. Next candle came down, created a little bit of a bottom wick, respected the low each time, right? And then continued up to fill this wick. Now, as I started to see these candles, notice the bodies start to slowly get smaller on the 15-minute time frame. So then we noticed that this 15-minute candle here, it had a smaller body and a slightly larger wick now at this point. So now I'm thinking, okay, maybe, you know, the 15-minute time frame starting to run out of like bullish volume in that sense. And then when this 15-minute candle closed bullish, I was like, okay, now that is a weak bullish candle close. So if I then see, you know, 30-minute resistance, some 15-minute resistance, then I'm going to start to get a confirmation, you know, potentially we're going to retest this low again and just keep dumping, because GJ looked like we had such strong momentum. So obviously then the 15-minute candle, it closed bearish. So that was the first confirmation, but I was like, okay, well, it's the end of the day. I'm not going to take a sell based on the 15-minute. That's a very weak confirmation. But then if you actually look, that 15-minute was the first 15-minute, and this 15-minute was the last 15-minute of the 30-minute time frame. So we did actually get a 30-minute candle close bearish. And then I was like, okay, well, just in case, you know, this is just a one-off retracement and then we're going to come up, I'll only take this sell if we break the low of the previous 15, because then I know that we're going to be breaking the low of the 30-minute, and then I know there's a much higher chance we're going to retest this low and continue down, because we have clean candles on the 30-minute, we have clean candles on the 15-minute. So as this candle came down to break the low, the sell was executed, stop above the previous candle, which was only like 9 pips, and then expecting, you know, price to continue down at that point. And then I closed, you know, partial positions, let it run, and then I trailed it on the 30-minute, and then right over here my second entry, the runner got stopped out by a little bit of spread. So that was the whole idea there. But you can kind of see, based off, you know, if we look at the 15-minute, how this was the retracement, and then this was the confirmation for some more sells, you know. So it was all about reading the bodies, reading the candles. You can see how they're getting weaker and weaker, and then you can see how this was the first strong bearish candle, and then the candles get stronger and stronger with the bearish candles, you know. So that was why the sell was executed then, and then yeah, those were my 2 sells yesterday after the stream. So if we look at GJ now, I know Greg was in buys, but it does seem like if you've closed out, probably the best thing to do now is to wait for a support to form, because it looks like, you know, it's retraced back to this level.
I closed everything when the 15 minutes when the 15-minute candles turned into bearish.
Yeah, I think that was pretty smart. It looks like it's going to retrace. I think it's going to need to create some support at this point, maybe, to continue up. So, yeah, it's pretty good. So don't worry. But Friday is a day where, you know, if you're taking a loss, you can potentially give it a second chance if the strong confirmation's there. But if it's not there, you know, just call it a week and that's it. So, yeah.
That's the plan.
Sorry, go on.
That's the plan. I'm waiting for some stronger confirmations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
No worries. Okay. Check out. So it's like Euro GPY 30-minute rejected this area. Probably needs to maybe create some more support to continue up. Gold rejecting this area. Maybe it's gonna come back down to support. Oh, looks like G-CAD couldn't sustain that support. So yeah, it's probably gonna fall back down to this area. And then maybe create some more support. So yeah. Okay. Candle did not close above 138.300, so no buyers for me now. Yeah, I think you needed to see the 30-minute close bullish. This 30-minute candle needed to close bullish for price to continue up. But I mean, I think there's still an opportunity for buys in that sense. Like the price can continue up, but this 30-minute candle needs to, you know, create a support. So see if it can do that. Otherwise, you know, probably going to retrace back to this level, this most recent support. and then create maybe a support again to then continue up to retest this high. So we'll see. We will see. Okay, so for anybody who's new here on the stream, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Slowly getting there to that 1K subscribers, where we'll be doing that free Magic Keys giveaway. The 15-minute here on GJ, 15 minutes still open. So maybe a case of, the 15-minute candle closes above this zone, and then maybe, it's not something I'm going to take, but, just for those people there, maybe if this 15-minute can close above this area, and then if the next 15-minute can create a little bit of a bottom wick and then come up and break the high, just in case you're expecting this current 30-minute to flip bullish, and then if it's going to run up, you could miss that move, but at the same time, it is a Friday, so we'll see. But there's something that happens a lot. When I see this, when price comes up, makes a high, then it's kind of break the high, but then it pulls back. Sometimes it does like a deep grab, and then will come up. Say the current 30-minute will flip bullish, but then it will just continue running, and then people are like, man, I missed that move. I waited for support. It didn't give me the entry, but that's just sometimes, so we'll see. See how the 15-minute candle closes. Gold coming down. Euro JPY trying to come up to fill this. Yeah, so I think the 15 minutes maybe going to create some support, below this area, and then try and break that zone. Oh man, it's just started pissing it down over here. Maybe the 15-minute doesn't want to do that. Maybe wants to come down. You know what? England is so depressing, man. It always rains. We need a summer back like this summer. It's crazy summer. Felt like I was in Spain or something at one point. In fact, it wasn't even the summer that was hot. It was the last lockdown. So between like, I don't know, maybe May to June, it was scorching. It was boiling out. Can't deal with this rain. So this 15-minute candle is closing below this area, so I think there's no buys at the minute. Yeah, it looks like it's going to continue down. So I don't think there's any buys for the minute there. But I mean, if it retraces to this area, forms some more support, this could give that buy a second chance maybe. But we will see. We seem to always have less people in on a Friday. How many we got? 28, 30 people. So yeah, the 15-minute candle, it closed below this zone. So I think there's no buys right now. I think at this point maybe you want to wait for the overall 30-minute candle to close. Then if it does close bullish, then it kind of rejected this zone, it respected this area as a support, which is good. But if you look at the 15-minute now, the 15-minute has closed back below this area. So far it's not looking good based on the 15-minute for a continuation. Morning foe, how's it going? Caught anything this morning? Yeah, I had a small buy position over here. So I caught this candle here. But it was a smaller risk. I risked like a certain percent of my profits. So I risked like a little bit of the profits for the week, and then ended up making a bit more. So it's pretty good. I know I said I wasn't going to take another trade, but I mean, yeah, I've seen this happen so many times. Plus, this was like the first time, around pre-London that it, moved pretty well, created a nice setup for price to continue. So, yeah, but that is now me actually done for the week. Yeah. Okay, so the 15-minute candle looks like it's coming back above this range. 30 minutes still open. It's got like 11 minutes. So obviously, if it does run up, the only entry would be, the break of the high of the previous 15. But, I mean, it's pretty risky, I think, because it may be better to just wait. But if it happens, that's how the move's going to happen, So you just got to accept that if you're not one to take impulse entries, you can miss these buys, But as it's coming up to break the high, that's the point at which it can continue up from this point. As the candle flips bullish. So yeah, it's just a shame this 15 didn't close above, otherwise it would have been a much more confirmed entry. But I mean, yeah, price is going to do what it's going to do. But remember, I suppose at the same time, the 15-minute time frame is a weaker time frame. So even if the 15-minute candle closes below, the next 15-minute can just come straight back up. Static is getting worse. Ugh. Don't. Is it gone now? Can anybody in the Zoom hear this static noise? Better or worse? I might just swap.
It sounds fine, mate.
Yeah, or maybe it's just the
I can't hear
YouTube.
anything either.
Oh. Did you hear anything at all?
I did yesterday, but not today.
No? YouTube
Nah,
reckons there's static. So yeah, looks like GJ's pushing up a little bit over here. So if this 15 just keeps pushing, then that was the entry. But otherwise, I think even if the 30-minute candle closes bullish, it's still pretty good. So yeah, this 30-minute candle needs to close bullish, and then there's a much higher chance, for the next 30-minute candle to come up, retest this high, and then continue up to 138, 430. That is, yeah. So let's say you did get in over here. What you want, how you would want to manage the trade at that point, is you'd obviously want this 30-minute candle to close bullish. So that would be your first confirm to stay in the trade. You can at that point maybe bring stops below the 15, but just to be safe, you want to keep it below the current 30-minute, just in case it pulls back on you. So, yeah. But those waiting for the candle to close, you have to accept that it can just run at that point. And then if you did wait at that point, that's where you have to look at it and say, okay, well, where's the point at which I would get in that trade? Small range though. I mean, I wouldn't say it's that small. I mean, if you look at it, technically speaking, we're creating a support here. We should continue up to 138.650, which is 45 pips away, because we have clean candle to the left hand side. But obviously we always want to look at potential areas where we can have some issues. So if price does create a support here, we have an area where we could react at 138.430, which is a previous support. So I would say at that point, that's the point I would secure something. Even secure something up over at the high would be another point. So you can kind of secure profits over here, secure something over here, and then you can see if a runner maybe will hit 138.650. But yeah, so it looks like the 15-minute broke the high. It's already pushing up around 7 pips. Already 7 pips. So even if it hits these wicks, you know, that's the point at which you can secure a good amount of profit and you can just call it a day. You know, so I called this out that if the 15-minute candle breaks the high of the previous 15, higher chance for, you know, price to continue up, which is doing right now. So yeah, I think last 5 minutes it can just run. Anybody take these buys on the break of the 15-minute high? Because you'd be nicely into profits now. Up around 9 pips. Yeah, I think 138.360 is going to be the first place to maybe secure something and then see if it can continue. But we'll see. 6 minutes left. Look at the 5-minute time frame. Yeah, so if the last 5-minute candle pushes, then 138.430 is the target. Don't you take that minor resistance at 138.30 into consideration? I mean, I wouldn't, because okay, let's put it this way. I wouldn't at this stage, because if we're looking at the overall trend, if we're looking at the overall, 30-minute time frame, it's creating a support above this area. It already made a high. So when price makes a high and then it creates support, there's such a high probability that it's going to break this high. Because, if we talk about price moves in waves, in that sense, if it was going to respect this area, let's say it was going to react to this area in the sense it was going to reject, we shouldn't be creating a support right now. So I would just say this is just a minor resistance that's going to be broken maybe, with the next 15-minute candle and so on and so forth. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about this too much. I'd only worry about it if we was, rejecting this area, but we're not. We're trying to create a support. Candle's got 4 minutes left to close on the 30-minute. So even if you did get in a little bit early on, let's say the break of this high, the trade's still valid at that point, because the overall 30-minute candle closed bullish. And plus, you also have a good position because now you're already in profits. So if you're already in profits, then you can manage the trade a lot better at that point, because you may say, okay, well, I don't particularly want it to go into a drawdown now. So if it does come back to my entry, maybe I'll close 50%, whatever, take a little bit of risk off. These type of things. So you're in a good position to manage the trade. But yeah, I would just say, even if this 15-minute candle, let's say, closes at this area, I would just say, it's maybe the next 15-minute candle that can continue up. But I don't know. Let's see, because we've got 3 minutes. Maybe this candle's going to run up. We'll see. Yeah, ideally, yeah, I suppose you're right in that sense. Like, the ideal situation would be for it to close above, because then if you're already in buys, you feel more confident. But if you're not in buys and the 30-minute candle closes above, then at that point you may say, okay, there's not really enough range. That's the point at which you may say there's not enough range. So you have to be willing to, you know, accept that as well. Nearly 10 pips. Nearly 10 pips. Just a little bit more and then... Okay. So we've got 50 seconds left for the 30-minute candle to close, 15-minute candle to close. I mean, even if you did get in the break of the high, you know, you could have secured something. You know, you could have secured something because it did push up around 9 pips. So it's still pretty good. Some people, that's enough, you know. Some people, that is enough. But it looks like the 30-minute candle is going to close bullish, and then there's a very high chance for the next 30-minute to also go bullish. Yes, if you got in on the break of the 15-minute high, should nearly be at 10 pips in a sec. There you go. So if you did get in on the 15-minute break of the high, should have secured some positions at 10 pips, and then, you know, see if you can let a piece run to the target up over here. Yeah, so it's pretty good. Did anybody catch these buys on the break of the high over here I spoke about? Should be well up. 15 pips at the moment. 14 pips. Did anybody take this trade? Do you look at EU too? No, I don't look at EU. I don't trade Euro USD. No one caught those buys?
Nah, mate, I was thinking about it, but nah. Being Friday too, I thought I'd just watch.
Yeah, fair enough. That's respectable. Definitely respectable.
And also how that 15 still closed. You could say beneath that minor support. I was gonna wait until we had a confirmation.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no worries. I think that's pretty good. It's being disciplined, sticking to your own plan is pretty good. I like that. I cut it at 12. Nice. So someone caught those buys. Looking for a break and retest at 138 for okay. Yeah, maybe above this area. Can do that. Right. I'm just gonna run and make a drink real quick. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Let's put some tunes on for the YouTube. Building up our playlist. Where's the playlist? Bang on. And this streamer's got the best tunes going. I don't even care. You might not even like trading, but you want to come down and you want to vibe and listen to some what do they call it? Hype in the morning. You're at the right place. Right, yeah, I'll be back in a minute, guys. Right, we're back. So looking at GJ now, I mean the previous 15-minute candle looks like it rejected this area, but obviously the 30-minute candle's still open, so let's wait and see. So yeah, I think if people had buys on the break of that 15-minute high, you could have secured enough profits, and then obviously that would have been the move, really. You know, 14 pips and then out, and then obviously if you wait for the 30-minute, you know, you could be seeing a little bit of a drawdown. But I mean, the fact that 15 closed bearish, maybe you want to take some risk off. But I mean, this current 15 looks like it could come up and actually just fill this wick, and then, I mean, for your sake, hopefully continue up at that point. Yeah, you can see the 15-minute candle now is pushing up. I think once it breaks the high of the previous 15, should continue up to 138, 430. Euro JPY. So Euro JPY, the previous 30-minute candle rejected this area. It looks like it's trying to create some more support to continue up. Gold just ranging. Gold is just ranging now at this point. G-CAD couldn't create a support, but it has created support below this area, but more than likely, okay, let's go to 15-minute. Yeah, okay, so G-CAD, you can see how the 15-minute candles were closing back below the zone, and then as this candle came down to break the low of this previous weak candle, sell could have been executed there. That would have been pretty good. Ran for around 12 pips. Footsie still pushing bullish over here since market open. So remember guys, if you're new to the stream, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. We will be doing that giveaway of magic keys as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers. So it looks like the current 30 minutes going to break that high of the previous 15 and then continue up. So if you did get in on the 30 minute, you know, you could have got in as the 30 minute was coming down, could have taken it on the close. So now you should start to see that push, and then you can, you know, secure some profits. So yeah, I think it's going to continue up at this point. Wow, nearly 10 o'clock already, man. Days go so quick. Okay, coming up to the last few minutes now. See if this 30-minute candle can close bullish. And I think this 15-minute candle needs to close above these minor resistance, and then the next 15 minutes should continue up. Looks like Euro JPY trying to break above this area on 24,250. Yeah, it's coming to the close of the 4-hour time frame for GJ. So if you look at the 4-hour time frame, I mean, if it closes back above 138,320, then there's a high, you know, the next 4-hour can also push up too. May mean that move down was a fake out, because we did not respect this area as a resistance. If you look at the 1-hour time frame, 1 hour is also coming up to break the high of the previous 1 hour. So we should have respected this area as a resistance, you know, if price is going to continue down and respect this trend. But it does seem like it's going to continue to keep pushing up. Especially now that, you know, we're creating support at this area on the 30-minute time frame, and then obviously we look on the 4-hour, we can see, you know, 4-hour is closing back above the support. So that is really important for price to continue bullish, for it to close above. I suppose it needs to close above this minor resistance in general, because this is the area, you know, where the 4-hour support is. So definitely important that it closes above in the next minute. Okay, so it looks like it's trying to close above. Does Black Bull Markets have HFX? I don't know what you mean by that. This isn't the binary options trading thing that I know someone else, and it's called HFX. It's not that guy. This is Forex, live Forex trading. Black Bull Markets are a brokers. So yeah, as we can see, the 15-minute candle, it closed above this minor resistance. So I think at this point, yeah, the next 15-minute candle should continue up to a 138,430. 30-minute candle also closed bullish. Definitely strong confirmations now that price should continue pushing in that direction. Yeah, no, you're at, this is a Forex stream, and we don't do binary options. So yeah, you can see how the 4-hour candle, it closed back above this support. So now, you know, the next 4-hour candle should continue up. 1-hour candle also created a support. If you look, it created support above this resistance at 138,200. Now continuing up. 30-minute candle also continuing bullish now at this point. 15-minute candle also pushing up. So yeah, these buys were called out. 138,430 is the first target, and then second target 138,650. And then if you got in on the break of the high of this 15-minute candle that we spoke about, maybe could have got stopped at a break even, but let's say you let the trade run, you should be well now coming up to around 20 pip profit. If you got in based off the 30-minute time frame, and obviously once this 30-minute candle closed bullish, it was good, confirm that it can continue, but you should be securing profits and then seeing if it can break above this area now. But yeah, it looks like these buys were called out pretty good. Yeah, I'll change this one. Banger, mate. Love this one. Yeah, so 138 430 target was reached. Tapped into our target there. Would you agree to target 138 640? 136. Yeah, I think that's gonna be once we break above this area, because we could reject here. So yeah, I think this is gonna be your next target. Because we have clean candles to left hand side, but we may not even get there. So, but yeah, GJ is pushing up now at this point. Oh, look at this. Yeah, I think you need to see a minor support above this area, 138 430. 138 430. I think a minor support on the 15 minutes is going to be good, and then it should continue up to 650. Looks like GJ's pushing over here.
Your mic bugged out a bit there.
Did it?
Did you hear that? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my. I'm probably gonna send this one back, to be honest.
Yeah, it might be a faulty one or so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna try and get a better one, to be honest. Maybe pay a little bit more money. But yeah, man, whoever in these buys should be well up now. Should be well up. Morning, Ash. Yeah, this was a good setup. In fact, if we look at the 15-minute, you know, it had a support over here, came down, broke down, did a fake out, came back down, created a support, and then continued up. 1 hour time frame, created support above this area. So yeah, this was textbook. So anyway, guys, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. We're nearly there at 1k subscribers. Where are we at now? I think I'm at like 780, something like that. Yeah, 786, so we're nearly there. Couple hundred off. So I know a few obviously come through each day, but let's try and push it, guys. Let's try and get to 1k subscribers, because one of you are going to win a magic keys. I had a lot of work today. Did I miss anything? I mean, you had GJ buys over here. There was GJ buys over here as well. That's running pretty nice now. So there's a couple of good trades actually today, I have to say, for a Friday. Probably, yeah, I'd have to say it's been a pretty good Friday. Have to say that. Oh, let's look at Euro JPY. Euro JPY also trying to break up now. So yeah, Euro JPY should definitely continue up to 124.450 if it can create some support. Yeah, let's focus on GJ here. We'll watch it on the 15-minute. What trades did you guys take on the stream? I had GJ buys. I had GJ buys earlier. Yeah, I had GJ buys, and then I called out GJ buys in this area too, and then it's called out. So there's two potential buy opportunities today with GDP JPY. Thank you, Andreas, for the subscription. Appreciate that. So I think for GJ to continue up to 138.650, we need this 15-minute candle to close above this range, close back above this area, and then if it can create some further support, then there's a higher chance it's going to continue up to. So loving the tunes. So yeah, hopefully GJ can close above this area. Let's look at Euro JPY. Euro JPY also closing above this resistance on the 15-minute. So Euro JPY closing above. It's pretty good. So you have two options here with Euro JPY. You know, you can wait for some support to form and then, you know, take a buy then. You could look for buys at, you know, at this point, you know, keeping stop below this zone, expecting price to continue up. So you have a good couple of options here, but obviously the 15-minute, remember, is obviously a little bit weaker time frame confirmation. So yeah, gotta be careful. But I would say at this point, EJ is a very high chance it's gonna come up to 124.450. Yeah, so if you look at EJ on the 15-minute time frame, it's created a little bit of a bottom wick. And then once it breaks the high of the previous 15-minute candle, should continue moving at that point. GJ. Oh, GJ 15-minute candle. It closed below this area. Closed below this support on the 30-minute. So yeah, maybe we need to just wait for the overall 30-minute candle to close above this area, and then we can see if it can continue up. Looks like it's coming up to fill the wick. There we go, Euro JPY broke the high of the previous 15-minute candle. So I think it should continue up. Greg's back in the building. What's going on, Greg? Ooh, let's have the Dow pushed up. Oh, don't tell me the mic's going off again. I lose my patience with this mic. Yeah, tunes are good, man. I do love these tunes. If GJ breaks the high of the 15, we could, yeah, that's the point at which I think it's just gonna continue pushing up. Similar kind of thing with EJ, you know, this kind of needs to like have a little bit more volume. But this 30-minute candle's got 8 minutes left to close, and it needs to be closing above 138, 430 for it to continue up. check the video I sent you with sound on. Okay, I'll check that out. Oh, is it doing the static again? Right, from Monday, this mic's going. Stop now. Right, 2 seconds. You know what? You know what? Screw it. Bear with me, guys. I'm gonna change mics. I can't do it. It's gonna annoy me. Right, I'll be back. 2 secs. Let me just sort this out. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me in this mic? Put my old mic back in. Let me know if you can hear me okay. God, that mic is going back. People on YouTube hear me? Or do I need to change a setting or something? Yeah? All good? Okay. Right. Yeah, apologize about that, guys. That mic is getting in the bin. Straight in the bin, mate. I'm joking. I'm gonna take it back. Get my money back. Piece of crap thing. Right. Anyway. Okay, yeah. So GJ looks like it's really struggling here to break above 138 for 430. It's obviously the point at which, you know, price can continue up. So it does really look like it's struggling over here. So while we wait the 4 minutes, I'm just gonna pop to the toilet. I'll be back in a sec. Do you see a buy on GDP and ZD? I don't trade GDP and ZD. So if you want to send me a chart, Diego, I'm more than happy to take a look and see if, you know, your idea is, if you got the right idea or whatever. So yeah, if you want to send me a chart, I can certainly take a look, but I don't look at GDP and ZD. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, so I'll take a look when I get back.
no going back. But sometimes I miss you missing me, calling me on the phone, asking me how I'm doing, asking if I'm alone. I miss you missing me. I miss you missing me. I miss you missing me.
Okay. So it looks like 15 minute couldn't break above this area. 30 minute. Maybe the next 30 minutes gonna do it. We've got Sharif. He's got a chart for us. Let's check out this chart. Okay, so this is GDP-JPY 15 minute. So failure to push up, pull back, didn't really quite retest previous zone. Okay, best place to enter around here. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're looking at it from a 15-minute perspective, but if you based it off of the 30-minute perspective, you know, you could have had an entry, let's say, at 138.304. So let's go back to your chart. 138.304 is going to be around, you know, this area here, right? So you could have taken a buy position over here, and then, you know, it had a much bigger range. So if you base the buy off the 30-minute time frame, you know, you're expecting the previous low to get respected. You're also looking at the 15-minute time frame to say, okay, well, you know, I want to see candles printing bullish, and then, you know, when the second half of the 15-minute candle closed above this resistance, there was a higher chance for the next 15-minute candle to also push up. Because if you took buys over here, I mean, look where it's reacting now. The range is not big enough. It's only like 9 pips. But, you know, you take your buys based off the 30-minute over here, you know, you can get a little bit slightly bigger ranges around 14 pips, and then it ran for around 21 pips. So I think that would have been better. But obviously that's up to you. But yeah, that's all I would say. Do you have a Telegram channel? No, I don't have a Telegram channel, unfortunately. Okay, let's look at EUR/JPY. Oh, EUR/JPY is retracing. So okay, looking on the 15-minute time frame, more than likely you're gonna need to wait for a support, because, you know, right now 30-minute candle is coming down. So I think a support's gonna be better for EUR/JPY to continue up. But yeah, no, I don't have a Telegram or anything like that. GJ pushing up, broke the high of the previous 15-minute candle. Oh wow, look at this. Yeah, I think once it broke the high of the previous 15, as the 15-minute candle closed very weak, higher probability for it to continue up. So maybe the last 5 minutes is going to push us up, maybe break this, and then continue up. I just closed, price goes up again on GJ. Yeah man, that's GJ for you. Will you be doing your live videos for a long time to come? I'm from UK. Appreciate your help, bro. Yeah. So the live streams now are going to be every day, Monday to Friday every day. London session. So yeah, I'm from the UK too. I'm from London. So yeah, man, I'm going to be here every day. This is for the long term. You know, I trade full time now, so here every day, mate. Every day. Did you go full time right out of uni? Not like necessarily straight after. It wasn't really like that. It was more obviously I worked part time, and then you know as I got better and more confident, and you know building up the lot sizes, depositing more money, and then eventually I got to a point where I was like, you know, I'm making more than I do, you know, working my part-time job, etc. So I was like, okay, well, you know, this is where I can now maybe look to move over to the full-time. But it wasn't like one day I was just like, right, I want to go full-time. It was like just over gradually, and then you know when I started to make consistent profits, I was like, well, you know, it makes sense to, you know, go full-time. And then I made the decision. I was like, I'm gonna go full-time, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm obviously gonna withdraw at the end of the month, and then I'm going to pay myself that way. So that's how I then decided to do it that way. So yeah, I mean like obviously I'm full time, but at the same time like I only trade in the mornings, you know, so then I have the rest of my day free. I have my evenings free. So even if I wanted to do, you know, get another job, do something else, I can. So it gives me that, you know, that opportunity. So there's always plenty of things to be doing. So GJ 15-minute candle closed back above this area, which is good. 30-minute candle also now closing above this zone. So So yeah, definitely leaving and creating that path for price to just continue pushing. I think 138.650 is going to be the area where we can reach today. After that, I mean, remember it's a Friday. Realistically, are we going to keep pushing? I mean, yeah, it's possible, but yeah, man, if it does break above 138.650, then you know we can still keep going to 138.950. I mean, that'd be madness. But I think come Monday we're gonna see. Oh. Jesus. Oh, yeah. You guys can hear me now, can't you, on the Zoom? Yeah. Basically, since I changed the mic, I didn't realize I forgot I had to change the settings on Zoom there. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So yeah, 15 minute closed above, should continue up. But I was just saying, come Monday, I think come Monday we're gonna see some more push, because if Friday can close bullish here, then it's created support. We have a high to retest. Now this move down, this was a fundamental move. Obviously this was due to, you know, Brexit negotiations and stuff, but at the same time, you know, as long as nothing really changes on that front, you know, price should continue up. I think obviously next week, if we hear of a, you know, any further negative news towards Brexit, then I mean, you know, this whole push up could get corrected. But yeah, I think Brexit is very much sensitive with GDP at the moment. Yeah, no, just the people in the Zoom there, because I changed the microphone so it didn't pick it up on the Zoom, but it's all good now. So yeah, probably gonna call it a day here in around 10-15 minutes on the live stream. But hopefully for you guys, you know, still trading, I think GJ should continue up. Let's check out Euro JPY. So Euro JPY is coming down. It's broken the low of the previous 30-minute candle. So obviously that's why it would have been better to wait for support. But at the same time, you know, it can create some support above this kind of minor resistance. It may need to retrace to this area. So I mean, yeah, I think you need to wait for maybe the 30-minute candle to close, see where it closes, and then decide whether you think, you know, buys are still valid. So gold is just ranging. Gold is just ranging. G-CAD, yeah, not really doing much either. Maybe trying to break back above this minor resistance to continue up to retest the high. That's about it. US 30 is continuing bullish over here. US 30 continue bullish. Footsie also trying to continue bullish. Looking at the 15-minute, creating support for price to continue up. I think based off the 15-minute, this was your buy candle here. So once we had a 15-minute candle close bullish, it was a bullish candle, but it closed very weak. You know, there's hard confirmation. Then the next candle, you know, wick down, broke the low, which was obviously At that point, would have thought maybe the buys aren't valid. But then as it closed bullish, it was a bit of a stronger candle. It did make sense, for the next candle to continue up. Let's look at GJ. GJ may need to form some further support in this area to continue up. So yeah, just final reminder, guys, before the stream is concluded, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. We will be doing that Magic Keys giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. So it looks like GJ is retracing. So I'm probably going to call it a stream here in a minute. So I think if you guys, you know, in this trade or you're looking for buys still, you know, you need to see candles creating support. You needed to create a support above this area, 138 for 430 for price to continue up. But just remember, it's a Friday. Like, if you've missed these moves, my personal advice to you, just call it a day. You know, just call it a day. Come back Monday, you know, fresh, new week. So yeah, that would be my advice to you. So, but if you are still in this trade and, you know, you're looking for how can you confirm that, you know, it's going to continue in your direction, you know, you need to see support being created above this area for price to do that. Look at Euro GPY. Looks like Euro GPY looks like it's doing a fake out over here. So, you know, maybe it's going to come back to this support to create, you know, some more volume and then continue up. But we'll see about that. Gold just ranging at this point. Gold is just, you know, a bit of dog crap today. G-CAD. G-CAD, yeah, looks a bit messy. Not really doing much now at this point. US 30s continuing bullish, should continue up to that target over there. And then the Footsie also trying to continue bullish. So, yeah. So to say it's Friday, it's been a pretty good day here today. Couple of buy opportunities on GJ today. So make sure you have a look at those over your weekend. Always want to see how you can catch the winning trade. So yeah, it's been a pretty good week. I took probably more losses than I would have liked to have done this week, but the wins were bigger. So definitely, you know, a big reason why, you know, keeping losses small, keeping your wins consistent is really, really important. But yeah, so I'm going to conclude everything there. I want to wish everyone, I hope they have a good weekend. You know, if you had a bad week this week, then, you know, just review this weekend. You know, don't be annoyed at yourself, don't be mad. Just got to think, you know, look at the mistakes you made, realize why you made those mistakes. If you took FOMO trades, you need to understand about how you can try and eliminate that FOMO. I know there was one trade this week that I took that was a FOMO trade. You know, I got in that trade because it was FOMO. And you know, I have to accept that, and I've taken a look at that, and I was like, I know that's no good. But yeah, it is what it is. I've paid for it. I took a loss, so I paid for that. Obviously, I made that loss back, but at the same time, you know, bigger lot sizes gets harder. But yeah, hope everyone had a good week. Hope everyone has a good weekend. What's done is done this week. You can change what happens next week. That's in your, the power is in your hands. So just come back next week strong, fresh. Looking at GJ now, looks like the 30-minute candle closed above this area, 15-minute candle closed above, so definitely a higher probability of price continuing bullish. Should think about doing weekend streams maybe. I do Sunday market open, I just didn't do it last weekend, so I think I'll be back this Sunday. Do Sunday market open. So yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks guys in the Zoom.
Cheers guys, see ya.
Yep,
have a good weekend.
Thank you. See you later, Greg. And yeah, thanks guys on the YouTube there. So just one last final. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel for anyone who is new. You know, if you want a magic keys for free, then make sure you're subscribed, and you'll be entering into that competition. So yeah, thanks guys, and we'll see you Sunday night.